everyone. This is Russ Davis speaking to you from ringside at the International Amphitheater, where tonight we are to watch a World Championship match between this little butterfly, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, and the reigning NWA heavyweight champion of the world, Thesz. This is Mr. Rogers and his valet here. I notice he has quite a coat on there. It looks like he might swiped it off of an old handsome cab. Well, could be Red Butler's coat, too, with two gimmicks on it there. But our Mr. Rogers is a very vain, elegant, egotistical kind of a kid. He's meeting Thesz. Lou is here tonight in Chicago with his daddy. This probably is one of the most important bouts of Lou's career, even though this Nature Boy Buddy Rogers is somewhat of a sartorial show-off. Nonetheless, he is still a very dangerous guy. He has used and developed a pile driver type of hold, and here is Thesz, and here's the old Manasseh Moeller himself. Let's get a load of his introduction.
Buddy Rogers.
Okay. Well, the boy's been called to the center of the ring. Okay. Well, the boy's been called to the center of the ring, and they're being given the old Yahoo instructions here by Jack Dempsey, former heavyweight champion in the boxing world of this dear old universe of ours. This boy Rogers is a lad from Brampton, New Jersey. As I say, he's tough, he's got a wonderful physique, and no mother, he does not wrestle in all of that jewelry business. He'll get rid of that in a minute. He'd be a hard little boy to wrestle. Say, he has zippers on it. This almost amounts to well. It's like he's been to Minsky's a couple of times. Yes, sir. He's a well-built boy. He was a Mr. America, as a matter of fact. Long about the first year, I think they got around to choosing the pick of the male crop. But does he pick up an unmerciful ribbing from all of the crowd at ringside, and oddly enough, from the gals. Both of these men were in training around Chicago. What was that? Oh, well, hello. Things are starting but rough. A drop kick on Lou. Body slam, and there's one for our Mr. Rogers. I would say offhand that it rather upset his hairdo. It's not quite as pretty as it was. Look at the slam, and there's one for our... Yes, sir. He's a well-built boy. He was a Mr. America, as a matter of fact. Long about the first year, I think they got around to choosing the pick of the male crop. But does he pick up an unmerciful ribbing from all of the crowd at ringside, and oddly enough, from the gal. Both of these men were in training around Chicago. What was that? Oh, well, hello. Things are starting but rough. Oh, well, hello. Things are starting but rough. A drop kick on Lou. Body slam, and there's one for our Mr. Rogers. I would say offhand that it rather upset his hairdo. It's not quite as pretty as it was. Look at Thesz reach in there and slap him. You keep your eyes on these guys, you'll see probably the best match of your television watching career in these two. There's a head scissors put on. As a result of a falling arm lock. Rogers trying to bridge out. Rogers has developed a hold which quite a few of the top wrestlers use. It's called piledriver. Consists mainly of picking a man up as though you were going to do a reverse backdrop. But instead of doing the reverse backdrop, you just drop him on his head from about hip height. And it's just a little on the rugged side, if you know what I mean. Well, that's one way to break it up. Rogers has boasted that he'll win from Thesz 2 straight. Let's see if he can make good his boast. There's a headlock. Still a headlock. Still Mr. Rogers administering the rip. We've got a battery of newspaper cameramen here on 3 sides of the ring tonight. Onto the ropes with Rogers. He takes his headlock back and makes another rip with it. I can see Dick Mastro sitting there. He's an ex-boxer himself and is now one of the top sports writers with the Chicago Tribune. There are visiting sports writers from the New Jersey papers, New York papers. Uh-oh, you see Lou stall that attempt at a rip. He's got a head and shoulders here. Didn't do him much good, however. Rogers took it away from him. There's my boy Clinky down there, the guy with the tin ears, or the headset. And the keeper of the broken fingers on the right-hand side of him. Clinky had one of these matches one night not long ago. Suffered fractures of the important fingers on his hands. for his trade. Still a headlock on Thesz. Another rip. Well, there was a cute counter. These guys will use them so fast that you can't hardly call them. If you enjoy these pictures tonight, you have only one gang to thank, and that's our technical crew. Art Hogg, our chief cameraman, Jack Gibney, who's directing. Of course, all of Mr. G.E.'s bulbs. Ooh, what a nasty check there. Lou tried to get out of the way of that one and make a flying toe hold, but missed out on it. There was an arm lock kipped, another one kipped. Brother, these guys use them fast. No, I don't give. What do you mean, Mr. Rogers? Put your pretty teeth back in your head and let's go around again. These men trained in Chicago for this bout. There was a good deal of interest. They had many devotees of the business of wrestling in both of the camps, one of them in Chicago and the other one at Round Lake Park, Illinois. Promoter Kohler, when he made this match, held his breath because both of these guys dislike each other intensely. Well, he tried to peel Lou loose with a flying mare, but it didn't work. The old boy just hung on like a brand new nickel mustard plaster. Still a hammerlock with a 4. Why, Mr. Rogers. Uncle Louie won't like that, and Mr. Dempsey doesn't. Ah, shut up, your old man's mustache. Or the nature boy equivalent of that. Lou's left-handed, and you'll take a poke at him. He's been known to do that. Now look, Mr. Rogers, you can only make so many deposits like that, and then you're going to get a dividend I don't think you'll like. Headlock. Who's trying to counter here with a head and shoulders, but no luck on the rip. What's the matter, Mr. Rogers? You're kind of getting popped in the cauliflower there, aren't you, boy? Onto the ropes with him. There's a flying toe hold. That's what Thesz tried to pick up a little while ago when he got that real rough. No, we can't help you, buddy. Just reach the other way, chum. Buddy's hairdo, like Gorgeous George's, gets just a little bedraggled after a few minutes. That's a cute maneuver. See what Lou did? He just put his elbow on Buddy's cauliflower and then hit his fist. You've known the old gag for a long time. I think that Lou has... Yep, there it is. A reversed leg lock plus a toe hold. Rogers has him in Sort of a half-hearted headlock. I changed his mind, however, when Lou bulldogged that foot. Well, he peeled Thesz loose that trip, but there's the head scissors for him. I'll keep his little block. Oh, and did you see him kangaroo out of that thing? He nipped Thesz right in under the chin with it. Look, boys, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt. You know. There's an outside single wrist lock, now doubled. Trip out and the takedown. There's our same little Western Union operator who always uses a straw hat regardless of the season of the year to sit at ringside. He doesn't like the lights in his eyes. Another head scissors on Rogers. Made him drop his wrist lock on Thesz. Well, let's see what he's going to do with this detail now. Thesz is shortening up his head scissors. Have to break it up. They're out over the ropes. Mr. Rogers. Dempsey trying to get him loose here. There we go again. See how Thesz does that? That's like getting hit with the dull end of a ball bat. Thesz is one of the most aggressive wrestlers I've ever watched. He always crowds, regardless of how his fortunes are going. He's taken a couple of bad bops in the eyeballs there. And another one. Well, you're not using the open part of your hand either, Mr. Rogers. We can see you. Mr. Dempsey did too. Gotta look at Thesz with one fist doubled up. The knee lift right into the pit of the stomach. Chin lock posted into a head scissors. Better get your cameras out of the way, fellas. They won't look good if they're kicked out to the 7th or 8th row. There's Thesz trying for a pin. He made Rogers drop it. Uh-oh. Banged him on top of the think tank there with his knee then. Another headlock. Thesz has a head and shoulders. He counters a headlock with a head and shoulders. Onto the ropes. Well, low bridge. Stick around, buddy. Things will get going. Oh, what a nasty drop kick. There's chin lock posted and another pin. Maybe. Well, not quite. Lou's gone to a body scissors now. Who you waving at, buddy? Nobody up here knows you. It's a chin press that Rogers has on Thesz. This is a world championship bout promoted promoted by Fred Kohler here in Chicago before a terrific crowd of people. With a hammerlock. Mr. Rogers is starting in to slug. There was an uppercut, pure and simple, but Dempsey didn't see it. There's a knee lift. Oh, you arrogant so-and-so. I agree with him. I'm not supposed to be partial, but I get that way once in a while. Mr. Rogers is working up a little dirty stuff here on the ropes. It seems there's a headlock on Thesz. More eye gouging, which Dempsey couldn't catch. Knee lift. Say, those look to me just like they're straight out and out uppercuts. They are pure and simple. Oh, great. That should fix him up. This is supposed to be a chin lock. At odd moments it is, but the rest of the time it's chokehold. Buddy Rogers is one of the toughest wrestlers in the business, and he's also a guy who doesn't hesitate to use some back alley tactics if he has to in order to win. Which is quite a difference between Thesz's attitude on the thing. Well, tilt up, fellas, tilt up. Well, there's a body slam on Thesz. Another one. There's the pile driver. Boy, that one really puts it on you. 1, 2, 3. And so thusly the first fall has gone to the challenger for one of the toughest wrestlers in the business, and he's also a guy who doesn't hesitate to use some back alley tactics if he has to in order to win. Which is quite a difference between Thesz's attitude on the thing. Well, tilt up, fellas, tilt up. Well, there's a body slam on Thesz. Another one. There's the pile driver. Boy, that one really puts it on you. 1, 2, 3. And so thusly the first fall has gone to the challenger for the NWA Heavyweight Championship, Buddy Rogers. You use your head? What for? Keep that old cedar mop of hair on? I don't like him either, Mother. Mr. Rogers, sir, you are a stinker, sir. A cad. An outcast, socially, and other things. Here's Thesz's dad.
The winner, 16 minutes and 57 seconds by a pile driver, Buddy Rogers.
Ten-second whistle. We're ready to go back to work. Papa Thesz looking at Buddy Rogers as he starts out of the ring there as if he'd like to take him on. So here we go. Second fall, World Championship match. First fall has gone to Buddy Rogers, the challenger. Head and shoulders on Lou. You know, Thesz does not like roughhouse wrestling. He doesn't care for it at all. And he'll go to any length to keep from indulging in it. But once he blows his gaskets, fire and fall back, boys, because things are going to happen. It's a knuckle lock. Doubled. Let's see who gets the best of it. Mr. Rogers, when Mr. Dempsey tells you to break, you're supposed to step back, or at least let your opponent, if you're in a corner, step back 2 paces. Uh-oh. Lou's trying to avoid a knee lift here. If he tries to avoid that and gets popped and chopped. Rogers believes in sitting down at his work. Oh, did he get hit? Rub there. Stand back. Mr. Rogers believes in sitting down at his work. Oh. Did he get hit? Rub there. Stand back here, Mr. Valet. Hands off for the wrestlers. Boy, did Buddy get hit in the side of the head. He just went rocketing through those ropes. You want some more, huh? Says Thesz. All Buddy wants right now is his mother. Look out for him, Lou. That's what I mean. He's our great possum player. This guy. There's a drag. Oh, Thesz started to set up a pile driver there, and Rogers took him on over. There's a knee lift right in the middle of his face. Well, if that didn't... Well, you've been using them, little chum. Isn't necessarily legal for you only. See Thesz slapping? He slaps you with those big hands, and you know you've been slapped. There's a remark of one kind or another about staying in your own department, and I expect that's where you'd better stay, bud. Starts playing roughhouse with Lou, and he will start playing with an old toughie from way back. Ooh, look at that check. Tried for flying head scissors and made it. How the boys on the 8-inch lens ever... Starts playing roughhouse with Lou, and he will start playing with an old toughie from way back. Ooh, look at that check. Tried for flying head scissors and made it. How the boys on the 8-inch lens ever held that one, I'll never know. Oh, goodness sakes alive. You expect to hear Darktown Strutter's ball when he starts his walk. There's an arm lock falling. See Thesz kangaroo out of that. There's another headlock ripped. This boy Thesz, for all of his height and size, is one of the most agile over 6-footers I know. He's just like a coil of spring wire. You used a fist, we think, Mr. Rogers. And you're going to do one more of those, and I'm afraid you're going to have the old Manasseh Mauler mauling at you, Mr. Rogers. One side, Mr. Dempsey. Atta boy, prime loose. A headlock on Thesz and more eye gouging. There's a headlock ripped. Rogers being continually cautioned about using his knuckles here. See how he gets away from Dempsey? He got caught that time, but the damage is done. Lou's nose is back to bleeding again. There's more of the same. You can't take those trip hammer blows on the bridge of your nose without something happening. There's a knee lift right in the middle of the face. You notice how Thesz crowds, regardless of how battered a condition he gets in, he has a wonderfully aggressive heart. And he keeps right at it. Buddy Rogers has one fall. He's challenging for the NWA Heavyweight Championship here. And things don't look too good for Lou at the moment. He's taken an awful lot of punishment around the head. Listen to the crowd boo. There's a check. Dempsey just grabs that right hand of Rogers's and tells him to cut it out. There was a broad arm leg. Here we go. Uh-oh. Thesz may have him where he wants him. Here's an airplane spin. Don't let go of him, Lou. He'll wind up clear out on Diversey. 1, 2, 3. Check. Dempsey just grabs that right hand of Rogers's and tells him to cut it out. There was a broad arm leg. Here we go. Uh-oh. Thesz may have him where he wants him. Here's an airplane spin. Don't let go of him, Lou. He'll wind up clear out on Diversey. 1, 2, 3. Well, Buddy Rogers lost the second fall thusly to that airplane spin after having Thesz pretty well battered into submission. Yeah, you lost, Buster. No recourse. No, you weren't using the open part of your hand. It was your knuckles. We could see it.
In 6 minutes, 49 seconds, by an airplane spin, Lou Thesz.
So here's Thesz again. These guys have changed corners here tonight. Off and on. Thesz is finally back in the corner where he belongs again. Here's his daddy. Tiny man alongside of him. Teddy is looking at a cut on his forehead here that Rogers inflicted. And oh, we're getting all prettied up. I wonder when he purrs. Have you ever seen anybody as vain as this guy? In an efficient, cold-blooded kind of a way? He's one of the worst. I always thought Gorgeous George was pretty much of an egotist, but this boy Rogers is right on the same par with him. Oh, Gravel Gertie peddling pictures there. Get out of the picture, Gertie. Come on, let me see them, says Buddy. I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, he picked... Oh, Buddy, honest to goodness. Kissing his own picture. Not that that's some kind of... you may go, varlet. You get that fishhook gesture there of Rogers's? Well, we've got a fall apiece in this World Championship match. Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, the challenger. Lou Thesz, the holder of the title, and defender of it for some 165 bouts. There's an arm lock outside on Thesz. You can't deny the fact that Rogers has carried this match to Thesz all the way. There's a flying head scissors. Rogers out from over. Look at Thesz, right back on him again. It's a fall apiece now. This is the deciding fall. There's a knee lift into the ribs. Buddy, in quite a few hundred matches, has put his opponents away just 2 falls straight. And even lose one to Thesz has visibly shaken him here. He's not quite as cocky and sure of himself. There's a check off of the ropes. Low bridge, boys. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to you. Low bridge, boys. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to use my head. You better be careful, chum. The peroxide will deteriorate it one way or another. All right. Let's wrestle, buddy. There's the man right there. You got a hold of him. The double pickup, a reverse toe hold, there was a head press that Rogers tried to use, reversed. The name again is Russ Davis, R-U-S-S, Russ. I have my store teeth in tonight. It's hard for me to say it. Davis, D-A-V-I-S. Here's a full stretch on Thesz, an arm stretch, being benched now. But Rogers was the guy who was getting the count on him. Well, he realized it and heaved Lou back onto the mat there. There's only one counter for this hold. That's to suddenly slip your opponent's feet and roll right up. Well, hello. It's a nice way to take it away. Makes a fool out of me, doesn't it? Well, that's not a hard job, believe me. Kerwhammy. Boy, he lit with all of his vitamins and corpuscles in one place then. Mostly the counter for this full stretch is a roll-up. In other words, you slip your opponent's feet away from your body and just roll right up over him and come up with a headlock on the way through. Rogers just stepped on his ear then. He didn't wish to counter it, apparently. Watch him, Lou. I told you. If Rogers can win this match, he wins the heavyweight championship, the belt and the title and all of the money that goes with it. As I say, he's resorting to any kind of a tactic he can. Well, he didn't get Lou out of the ring then. He tried to throw him out. Headlock and several more biffs right on that forehead where Lou's skin is already open. See there? Doesn't amount to much, any one of those blows, but little drops of water, you know. Onto the ropes with Rogers. A check as he comes back off. Another one. Uh-oh. Hello. Looky here now. There hangs our Mr. Rogers there by his own volition. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and he's out like a light. Dempsey can't get him loose. Well, here's onto the ropes with Rogers. A check as he comes back off. Another one. Uh-oh. Hello. Look. Onto the ropes with Rogers. A check as he comes back off. Another one. Uh-oh. Hello. Looky here now. There hangs our Mr. Rogers there by his own volition. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and he's out like a light. Dempsey can't get him loose. Well, here's Buddy's varlet in here. Thesz says, well, all right, let him hang. Fellas, he's leaking off the edge of the mat there. You better get him. He's just right down in with the telegraphers. So Lou Thesz still remains the world heavyweight champion of the world. Keeps the NWA belt. And keeps his pappy happy. Buddy Rogers, meanwhile, down here. Champion and still champion, says the ring announcer. Where is Brother Rogers here? See if we can find him. Well, there's Lou. Well, they still are looking at the debris here. Rogers really dove into that rope there. What actually happened to him, he tried to catch the ropes, went over, and then entwined them about his own neck. Would you get out of the way, Lou, so we can see what's happened to him? Well, here is the belt. There it is. Lou and his dad posing for the photographers. There's the heavyweight championship belt of the world. And Lou still can take it back to St. Louis with him tonight. Somebody said, get the fire department. They must be asking for an inhalator here for Rogers. All of the looks on the face of the crowd down here is that he is out like last season's codfish. He is still out. Got the policeman down in here trying to get him up in one piece. He won't stand on his feet or anything else, and Thesz is just heading right on for the dressing room. What are they going to do with Mr. Rogers? Is that a brass rail, Mr. Photographer, or are you just steadying your feet there, boy? We're still trying to get a shot of Roger. Oh, peekaboo, there he is.